Hey everybody, Ed Homewood, Old Guy Hi-Fi channel. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today should be an interesting little video. We're going to talk about really a nice product, one I've been using for quite a while. It is a Cambridge Alva Duo Phono-Preamp. So sit back, relax, and we'll get going on this review. So what is the Cambridge Alva Duo? Well, it is a very compelling $349 moving magnet, moving coil Phono-Preamp. I'll put some specifications up here. I've had this for quite a while and I've listened to it a ton. And so I've got some really good insights and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm not big on specifications normally, as you guys might know, but one of the things I look for if they publish it is the RIAA curve accuracy. So when music is recorded and prior to it being put on a vinyl record, it has to be equalized to reduce the certain frequency so the grooves are narrow enough that you can get 20 minutes on a side, or roughly 20 minutes on the side of an LP. LP stands for long play. Prior to that, 78s and 45s, you only got a few minutes aside. So to get the 20 minutes, you had to EQ it. We had to take a lot of frequencies out of it. Now, to play it back, you have to re-EQ it to bring everything back up to where it originally was, and how accurate the Phono-Preamp does that is key to how well it sounds. And this has an accuracy of plus or minus 0.3 dB from 30 hertz to 20,000. I think that's absolutely excellent. Another spec that I look at, which I think is kind of important, is crosstalk. And this has crosstalk of greater than 85 dB rejection and moving coil greater than 75 dB. And those are quite good specifications. Now, on moving magnet, because all moving magnet coils are the same, its input impedance is 47,000 ohms. Now on moving coil, it is only a 100 ohm input impedance. So if you have a really esoteric phono cartridge, moving coil phono cartridge, you might need a step-up transformer to get it to the right impedance, but almost all reasonably affordable and kind of more accessible moving coil phono cartridges like my AT. I think it is an OC95 or OC9EXN. I'll put a picture of it here. It is 100 ohm. It's looking for 100 ohm input impedance, and that's perfect. So it matches up really well and sounds really good. And again, most of those popular priced, that my cartridge is about 400 bucks and up. Unless you're going to spend $2,000 or $3,000, it might get weird. 100 ohm input impedance is just fine. So anyway, that's that. So let's do this. Let me talk about. Oh, you know what I want to do first? Let's put it on the bench. Let's open it up, look inside, look at the front panel, back panel, all that other stuff. I'll come back and tell you how I tested it, some of the music I used, and then I'll give you a summary of my thoughts. Well, I thought since we had the unit on the workbench to open it up and look inside, I'd go ahead and do the front and back panel right now. Very simple layout. The beautiful Cambridge industrial design always, their products always look great. We've got a power button, and this is our input selector, moving magnet or moving coil. This is the volume control for the headphone jack, 1/4-inch headphone jack, which I think is kind of unique on a Phono-Preamp. So again, that's the front panel of the Alva Duo. Let's turn it around and look at the back. Well, here we are looking at the back panel of the Cambridge Alva Duo Phono-Preamp. On the left-hand side is our IEC power socket. This is our output, line level output. You'll notice that the labels are both upside down and right side up. So if you're leaning over on a shelf, you can still read what the connectors are clearly. Balance adjustment left and right. Our moving magnet phono input. Ground is the same for both, and our moving coil input. One little niggle is I wish there was only a single input and then a switch to be able to go between moving magnet and moving coil, but I understand why they do it. The moving magnet section is completely separate from the moving coil section, obviously for noise reduction and things like that. And again, the performance of the unit kind of more than cancels out the little bit of an inconvenience it is to swap RCA cables. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look inside. Well, here we are looking at the inside of the Cambridge Alva Duo Phono-Preamp, and as you can see, it's really well constructed. I undid a couple of screws so I could remove this cover just so you could see into the power supply. It is very well conceived. Now, it is a switching power supply, but it uses Rubicon capacitors, which are really high quality, and then surprisingly, these are Cornell Doubler high-speed switching power supply capacitors. These are top of the line. There are also a combination of Nichicon capacitors and WEMA capacitors. This thing is really well laid out. As you can see, quality. It is excellent. The RIAA equalization circuitry is second to none on this. It really does an excellent job. Just wanted to show you the inside, to show you how well laid out it is. I mean, even take the time to put some goo on the bottom of those capacitors to reduce any chance of resonance and things like that. So again, really well laid out. The inside of the Cambridge Alva Duo Phono-Preamp. Let's put it back together and we're going to talk about it some more. Well, as you can see, looking at the inside of this, the front panel and back panel, as you can see from looking at the inside, this thing is extraordinarily well built. I'm not sure I've seen a Cornell Doubler capacitor in any piece of hi-fi gear in many, many years. That is really high-end stuff. It is extraordinarily well built, very good isolated power supply. Yes, it's switch mode, but what I'm being told by engineers in the industry is a very good, well-designed switch mode power supply will not add any interference to any of the signals in it. And again, it was a concern of mine because obviously this is dealing with very low-level signals, but it is absolutely clean as a whistle. I hear nothing at all. It is just, the background on this is just absolutely inky black, no question about it. So the way I tested it was, and you'll see over my shoulder here, I've got the EXA100 in, and I've tested this with that because that lacks a Phono-Preamp. I also tested this with the CXA81 Mark II. I also used it on my Evo 150 because it lacks a moving coil Phono-Preamp. And I used it with a bunch of other devices I've had in, lots and lots of stuff. And I've had this for months and I've listened to this thing long into the night. And it just is absolutely outstanding. So let's do this. Let's talk about some of the music I used and then I'll summarize my thoughts and we'll get the heck out of here. So I've had the Cambridge Alva Duo for a while and I've used it a ton. I've listened to this thing a lot. I've spun a lot of records on it. It has been a faithful companion to me long into the night and it does a wonderful job. Especially I've been using it for moving coil primarily. But one of the albums I used is this album, and I've used this in another review. I think it was the Black Ice F22 amp. It is Hania Rania and Dobra Wachir, and it's Bella Flaga, and in Polish, Bella Flaga means white flag. Now, I did the digital version in the other review, but I was able to get from Europe the original. What you'll find in the digital link I put in the video description is to the 2021 remix. This is the original 2015 mix, the original release. I got it from Europe just recently, and it is just absolutely amazing. It is a piano cello duo, and they put together, the way they sound together is just absolutely remarkable. Now, Hania Rani and Dobra Wachir have been friends since they were in music school back when they were teenagers in Gdansk. And this is just an amazing, they've got some other albums that they've done together, which are absolutely amazing. But this is really, really a wonderful album. It is, they took some, there's a famous rock composer, and I'll never pronounce his name right. I think it's Jehorzy Shopisky, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'll put it down here because I'm not good with those pronunciations, and I apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody. And what they did was they took some of his compositions and kind of remixed them or rearranged them and redid them for a piano cello duet. And it's really beautiful. This album is stunning. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on the vinyl copy, it is stunning. It is a Deutsche Grammophon. It is absolutely at their best. And again, this is the original 2015 release. The digital version is actually a high-res digital file on Tidal. And again, that's what I will link to. It is wonderful. The interplay between the cello and the piano are just absolutely amazing. You can tell these two know each other extraordinarily well, and the communication, unspoken communication between them is absolutely amazing. And again, it's mic'd. The room is a little bit reverberant, but it just adds some depth to it. There's not a ton of imaging. There usually, typically, is not a ton of imaging with piano in stereo because they put multiple mics on it, so the piano sounds like it's 20 feet wide. But the cello is mic'd beautifully, and it's just all the detail and all the resolution is there. It is just, I don't know. It's a stunningly beautiful, very meditative album. It gains strength in this really delicate interplay between the piano and the cello. It is just wonderful. This is something I listen to quite frequently. So anyway, big standout for me on this is the track Telephony. All of them are really good, but that one's my highlight. Again, Hania Rania and Dobra Wachir, Bela Flaga, white flag. Great album. I hope you enjoy it. So what did I use next? Well, you guys should recognize that. This to me, and I think a lot of people agree, that the Cars' first album, it debuted on June 6th of 1978 on Elektra Records. It is considered to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, debut albums in rock history. And it really helped define late 70s and early 80s new wave music, which was becoming really popular. It is a real slick blend of rock, pop, synth-heavy new wave, really good production, and some really good energy on this album for sure. Now, it was produced by Roy Thomas Baker, who was known for working with Queen. I mean, you want to talk about having the best. Notable tracks are Just What I Needed, My Best Friend's Girl, Good Times Roll, and my favorite, Moving in Stereo. I just love that. The legacy of this album is, and it set the pace for a lot of music during the early 80s in new wave. It was very clean, very tight production. It had good hooks in the songs. There were great, things that would hook you and keep you in. It was really interesting, Rick Ocasek's deadpan kind of detached vocals, and then he had Benjamin Orr's really smooth singing voice. Just wonderful, really good guitar riffs, really good synth textures. It made I think this album is both really accessible and very innovative. It was a huge commercial success. It went platinum 6 times in the US, and it launched the Cars into like instant stardom. Well, they'd been around for a while. Instant stardom almost overnight. Just one of the standouts. This is, I think, in my opinion, probably the best debut album in history for a rock band other than Boston's first album. And I'll probably talk about both of those on my music channel, Old Guy Hi-Fi Music. So anyway, look for that. So again, just one of my favorites. I listen to this all the time, and I have the mobile fidelity version, and that's worth getting. I promise you it's worth getting. It's clean and crisp and just beautifully detailed. So anyway, the Cars. Let's talk about what I think of this thing. Well, hopefully you can recommend the video. Hopefully you'd be willing to give me your like and your subscription. Thank you so much to my members, my subscribers, and my viewers. The channel is growing wonderfully, and it is all because of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just full disclosure, there will be an affiliate link to Skylabs in Des Moines, Iowa for the purchase of this unit. Kevin is a great guy. I want to support a small family business, so that's why I'm linking to his shopping channel if you want to purchase this. There will be a link in the pinned comment and in the video description. There will also be a membership link in the pinned comment and in the video description. In the video description are some other affiliate links. You guys know the drill on that. There will be digital links, title links to the 2 albums I talked about in today's review, because obviously I can't link you to an analog version of it. There is a link to the Community Post playlist. Please check it out. There's some great music there. Please comment. Let me know, where are you at in your vinyl journey? Are you a big collector? Are you just getting started? Do you need some advice on how to set things up? I didn't mention it, but I use a Fluence RT84 upgraded to an 85. And basically, I got rid of the Ortofon cartridge because I don't like it. And I went with the Audio-Technica cartridges because that's what I prefer. So that's my head end feeding this and then going out to everything else. So let me know. Are you looking for some advice on vinyl? Please comment. Please let me know. Anyway, that's everything. I've rambled on long enough like I am known to do. So, like, subscribe, comment. If you want to, you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Ed Homewood. This is the Old Guy Hi-Fi channel, and it's now your duty, your obligation to yourself to go put on some really good vinyl, sit back, listen, and enjoy your day. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your time.